Thinking about buying land? It's not just the purchase price you need to budget for. Maintenance and development costs can sneak up on you, and understanding them now can save you a ton of frustration and money later on. In the last video, we talked about topography and elevation and how those features can impact your building plans. Now let's dive into ongoing costs and upfront expenses of owning and improving land. Spoiler alert, it's more than just mowing the grass. So these videos aren't made to cover every detail. So if you have something to add, feel free to drop it in the comments and help provide more value to your fellow viewers. Let's get started. So let's go over why these features matter. First, the maintenance costs are unavoidable. Think about mowing, weed control, fencing repairs, and even tree trimming. Neglecting basic upkeep can lead to bigger issues like overgrowth that lowers your property taxes or damaged fencing that costs more to replace later. Then there's development costs. These are the expenses tied to turning your raw land into something usable. Grading the land, running utilities like a septic system and water well, not to mention building roads and even permits. All these improvements add up rather quickly. Finally, resale value. Well-maintained and thoughtfully developed land is far more appealing to buyers, whether that's a personal ranch that you may sell in 40 years or land you subdivided for homes with acreage. Imagine two similar properties, one with well-maintained fencing and cleared land, and one that's overgrown and neglected. Buyers will pay a premium for that property that looks ready to use. It's not just about what you're spending now, it's about how those investments increase your property value over time. So let's break down some of the most common costs you should plan for and how they're typically calculated. First, land clearing. The cost of clearing your land depends on the acreage and the level of work required. Larger properties with heavy vegetation, big trees, or rocky terrain will naturally cost more than smaller or already partially cleared parcels. Next is grading and drainage. These costs are calculated based on the acreage and the amount of grading work needed. Land with steep slopes or uneven terrain will require more effort to level out, which increases the cost. Drainage work, such as creating channels or swells to direct water flow, also depends on how much adjustment the land needs to prevent flooding. For utilities like water, electricity, and septic systems, depend heavily on the distance of your property from the utility connections. Check with the neighbors or local officials to see how far existing infrastructure is from your property so that you have a better idea of the cost to connect them. If your land is remote, running power lines, water pipes, or setting up alternative systems like a well or off-grid power will cost more. And fencing is priced per linear foot, so the larger the property or the more extensive the fencing, the higher the cost. The type of material, whether it's wood, metal, or barbed wire, also plays a big role in the final expense. And finally, there's road or driveway access. The length and type of road you're building will influence the cost. For example, a long gravel driveway will be priced based on the square footage of the gravel needed, while paving adds additional layers of expenses. And now let's talk about some common mistakes people make when it comes to maintenance and developmental costs. First, underestimating the cost. It's easy to focus on the price of the land and forget about all the additional expenses. Always overestimate your budget for development. It's better to have a little bit of extra room than run short halfway through the project. Next, neglecting long-term maintenance. Things like overgrown vegetation or broken fences can become more expensive the longer you ignore it. For example, letting trees overgrown near fencing might seem harmless, but eventually roots, branches could damage the fence, requiring a full replacement instead of minor repairs. Regular upkeep maintains your property value and is always going to be better for you in the long run. And one of the biggest mistakes, not checking local regulations. Sometimes you'll need permits for things like grading, fencing, or even clearing brush. I know, crazy, right? Skipping this step can lead to fines or delays. So here's a question for you. What's one maintenance task or developmental project you think is the most important for new landowners? Share your thoughts in the comments. You could help someone avoid a costly mistake. So budgeting for maintenance and developmental costs is key to getting the most out of your investment. A little planning can save you a lot of headaches and money in the future. I'm Trent Babb, your Central Texas real estate agent. If you've got questions about development, cost, permits, or anything else related to land, drop them in the comments. Your experience helped other viewers and they help me create better content for you. In the next video, we'll dive into closing costs in Texas, what they are, how much they cost, and how to plan for them. Don't miss it. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notification so that you'll be notified the next time another video drops. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.